Welcome back to the Stratosphere, and yeah, I know it's not here at the moment, is it? Which is rather tiresome, and on the subject of which, we're going to be looking at tyres. Yes, to get the exact specification that Lister Bell recommend, there is very limited choice. So basically, there's only one manufacturer, Toyo, and there are two types. One is a track-only tyre, which is what I ended up with because the other ones weren't available and can be on back order for at least 18 months. Lovely tyre, don't get me wrong. I have some friends in Corvettes who've had bad experiences with blowouts with these, but they're not really designed for ultimate high-speed autobahn cruising. Essentially, they're designed for the track. Which is why they have a tread wear rating of 100, which means they last about this long. Their slightly harder wearing counterpart is a tread wear of 200, which is good for lemons racing and therefore, you know, road use, essentially. But if you just take a little variation on the theme, there are more options. Plenty of options on the rear sides, that's not an issue, but to get a matching set is the trick. So it's the 16-inch front wheels that are the problem. And again, if you're not too fussy, then you're prepared to mix and match front and back, then you've got all kinds of options, honestly. But after much research, I have come up with two very viable alternatives for a matching set. Although they're not ZR rated, they are R-rated, and they're a W, which means they're good for 168 miles an hour, which is plenty enough. I doubt it will go much faster than 130, to be honest, but that's not the point. So with the Falcons, which we've used the exact same tyre on the race car, the Porsche 944 with the Chevy small block that we run in 24 hours at Lemons, very good tyre, quite durable. And quite grippy. Rear wheels, exact same spec that Lister Bell recommend. Front wheels, just slightly higher profile, so 225 50s as opposed to 225 45s, which on consultation with Mike from IDR, he just reckons that there might not be the same amount of turn-in on it, but still possible. His recommendation was to go with a wider tyre but the same profile. Sadly not available in the Falcons, but in the Firestone department we have both options, so we can choose. So I'm not sure which I'm going to go for at this point. I'm leaning towards the Firestones, to be honest. And indeed, they have arrived. The Firestones are here. Have you noticed anything that could be problematic? Yes, there's only 3 of them. Apparently, FedEx have lost the other one, so I'm going to get another one. Anyway, not a bad tread pattern on them, quite like that, and quite a high wear rating of 330. So we'll see how long they last once we get them all, and once we get them on, which might be a while. And that's because my dear friend Michael at IDR and actually my other friends Rick and David are off to Sonoma in the Porsche race car. I'm not going because I can't. So yeah, everything's been delayed a week because they've been rushing around trying to get that ready. But hopefully by the time they get back, the Stratos will be ready. So hopefully I can pick it up, bring it back somehow or other, and we'll be driving it again before the year's out, with or without air conditioning. I don't really mind at this point in time, and maybe even without squeaky belts if Mike's managed to do my alternator mount adjustment. He said he was going to give it a go. We shall see. So do make sure you tune in for that episode, and of course thanks for tuning in this time around. And some more good news on the Stratos front is that recently, just the other day, in fact, this particular Lister Bell replica with an Alfa Romeo V6 3 litre sold for no less than $140,000. So that's quite encouraging. Obviously the values are going up because of the length of time it would take to actually build a new one, with waiting lists just for the kit itself, for want of a better word, being 5 years plus, and then of course you've got the rest of the build. So that's all quite exciting. Well, at least it is for me, because I've already got mine. If you're waiting for yours, then that's all well and good too. And if you haven't even started, then I suggest you do. No time like the present. Yes, and don't dilly-dally on the way. On a similar note, i.e. other people's cars, I just thought I'd show you a couple of pictures of the gentleman in the US that's currently just about to finish the build with his Lotus Evora motor in the back, and here it is. Yes, he'd prefer to remain nameless, so we've just called him John, and there it is. Looks rather lovely. Thought the video was any good, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe down here somewhere, and encourage others to watch my lunacy.